Right. Hello and welcome everyone. Hello and welcome everyone. This is the Peter Repeater. This is the latest and greatest podcast for you all today. Hopefully everything is up and running and working correctly. Let's just have a look, see how things are going, see how the thing. This is the latest and greatest podcast. Yeah. So it's all happening today. We're just making the most out of every opportunity to make the podcast, and we're just getting the most out of this live stream. So thank you all for watching. This has been great to have you all with us, and I hope we can continue this message all the time, is that life is great and great stuff happens in life. And that is the mantra that I just made up. So what my expertise to share with you today? I have a background, rich history in maths. And I'd just like to say hi to my dad. And I've got a mathematical ability that goes above and beyond the standard level of maths. It's a situation that I'm pleased to be a part of, and I hope I can just bear with everyone today and make the most out of this situation. So mathematical background, that leads me to today, which is more of a computing background. Current field of study, my research efforts are going more and more interlinked with computers and what they can do, programming, networking, databases, business, and it keeps me going and keeps me entertained, and I'm able to do things on a number of levels. I'm able to do the computing at different phases of life and really underpin the main adhesive composition that all the modules of computing, how they intertwine, and that holistic approach to just getting all the computing together and finding that the best places in computing are actually there to be learnt. And I'm learning about programming, and I've said all these things before, databases, networking, and I'm just about to start in a week's time my third year of study of a computing degree. And I don't know how I've made it to this point, because before in this podcast I would say that I'm about to start my degree and I don't know what's going to happen, and I was saying things like I'm looking forward to the ability to be a student and have the identity and to integrate myself into a system, so I feel like I have a sense of value and purpose. And that has been the case, and that idea is encapsulated by me wearing the student ID badge where it says my name, says I'm a student, and it just promotes to the world the ability that I have to be a student in the 21st century and to feel that sense of purpose. And that is really a tangible thing the value that you get into being part of something, having your name on the register and doing things. I wouldn't say that I'm particularly an expert in the field of computing, but I would say I'm an academic, meaning I can get a set of guidelines, I can follow them, and then I can execute them. And those guidelines enable me to get high marks without me having to understand what's going on. But of course, in the coding realm, you do have to get a grip on what you're coding, and that's where the challenge lies, is in the coding of the space within I sit, within I rest. On an intellectual level, the place that I occupy is a challenge of me trying to code. And that's what is going to really help me out in life, is the ability to code and the ability to set a precedence for myself that I can be challenged and I break out of my comfort zone and I can execute guidelines and learn the underpinning levels of code and computing realms that I deepen myself into, and I soak up what I can. And the plan is to finish this degree of computing technologies and to move on to the next chapter of my life. And that could be a job, but I don't particularly find myself in a ready state to take on responsibility on a professional level. I feel it's better to do a Masters of Education and find that I can learn the most about artificial intelligence, because I want to do a Masters of Artificial Intelligence, because I believe I've got the technical skills and knowledge, abilities to tackle a high level subject, and I think I can do this in the comfort of living at home. And then the next item on the agenda will be seeing what I can do on a professional level, and I feel that I can solve many of the new world's most pivotal, groundbreaking, at the frontier of the next level of professional inquiry, is the new dawn, the new age of artificial intelligence. I think I can just continue to enrich my learning and to get on to the next level of learning by doing a Masters of Artificial Intelligence. And I'll do that from home. And then I've got the capabilities to get an artificial intelligence job. And that will be the next chapter of my development as a student that I so value being. Because on a professional level, the more that you have skills and knowledge, the more useful you can become, and the more satisfied you can be in the work that you're doing, because it's more of a complex nature and you feel even more useful. So that's what I'm doing on a educational level. I'm learning computing, and on a historical level, from my past, I did maths, and you can see how computing relates to that. Because there is the temptation to stay at home. Is the groundbreaking temptation is to stay at home and not tackle the daily challenge of having stuff to do. So that is where I'm at educationally. And on a less professional setting, on a less scripted educational level, I have the constant education that I learn from watching and partaking in extracurricular activities such as podcasts. So I like Joe Rogan, he has lots of experts on. I like Jordan Peterson, he has a podcast as well. And I like Stephen Bartlett, the Diary of a CEO. And he's from Dragon's Den, and that really has a good educational value. But I watch podcasts because I like how interesting they are, but I must also learn stuff. So, for example, Jordan Peterson would argue that people are valuable, and people that say there's too many people on the planet, that's a really dangerous point of view, because you're implying some kind of genocide where those people on the planet aren't valuable and should be reduced, which I agree with totally, is that everybody is valuable in their own way and at their own place in the world. Even if there's a strain on resources, people are valuable and you should just have more people. So that's a great thing that I've learnt. And then also another thing that I've learnt is you have buckets in life, 5 buckets. And I know the first 2 are knowledge and skills. And the more you can fill up knowledge and skills, the better you are as a young person in the world. So that's an exciting prospect that I will be able to learn from the podcast world going forward. And I've watched 32 hours of Jordan Peterson's seminar with other experts, like Jonathan Pageau, that's all I know. But there's loads of experts. Oh, and Daniel, no, something, Prager or something. But yeah, so those experts talking about Exodus, the book in the Bible, they were breaking down the text, and that was 32 hours of seminars that I watched. And now, what I can say about Exodus is not very much, to be honest. So we're really just learning at this stage. So I like watching these podcasts to get a sense of where I'm at a moment in time. So it's quite a good way of journaling your experience as you go through life. Because at the moment, I would say that I am starting in a week's time my college course, which is great. And looking back, I can see what it was like to start my college course and what I can do going forward in making sure that I have the abilities to continue my college course. Because as I say, I've got this pathway of learning towards getting a master's in artificial intelligence. Maybe. And I don't even quite know if I'm quite suited to complete the degree that I'm doing right now. But on paper, I'm doing very well. And I'll tell you a little bit about my course since I'm going to college next week. I call it college because the place is a college, but it's actually associated and affiliated with a nearby university. So you could call it university, but I call it college because it makes me feel slightly more comfortable about the prospect of only going to college, because that's what young people do. Not going to university, which is what relatively older people find themselves doing. So in that scope of going to college, I'm on a 3-year course, but I've just done the first 2 years, and in the first 2 years I did a foundation degree in computing, networking and software development. And I've got that course, and I've done it, and it's on my CV, and there's a graduation for it that I should be going to, and that's great. And then the next level of thing is doing the third year, which is a top-up to a more standard degree, which is a BSc Computing Technologies. So I'm signed up to do that, and hopefully that will work well for me. But we'll see what happens, because there's plenty of to-dos, and there's homework, and there's fitting things in, and making the most out of life and everything. I should be more animated, I feel, in my hand movements. But yeah, I'm going to start college. I've done 2 years of college, so just do another year of college, then I'm done with college, and then I start my masters, which will just keep me going, even though I don't know what to do with my life. I might want a job in the future, but I don't know if that's the best thing to do, but we're working on it. We're being positive in the education and work, and I'm already quite skilled. I'll go through my credentials. It surprises me at the best of times that I've got these credentials, considering the amount of problems I've had in my life, mental health wise. So that is a whole podcast in and of itself, is my mental health. But we're talking about education, because we're starting college soon. So, on an educational level, what have I done? And work. I've done GCSEs. 10 GCSEs. I've got 5 A stars, 3 A's, 2 B's. A star in maths, statistics, biology, chemistry, physics. 5 A stars. A's in French, English language, geography. 3 A's. 2 B's in English literature and religion, philosophy and ethics. 2 B's. And then the next thing I did, A levels. A stars in maths, further maths, physics. Top grade in 3. And then an A in AS level chemistry. So I had to go at that, but it was far too hard. So I dropped chemistry, focused on 3 A levels, 3 A stars. Great. Get a job as an apprentice ICT person. Great. Loved it. We'll see if that's true, but I loved that I did it. Let's say that. I struggled, but I loved that I did it. Loved it, definitely. ICT apprentice. I got a level 3 diploma in ICT professional competence. I'll say that again. An level 3 diploma in ICT professional competence. Meaning that I can then go on to university to do a computing course, because I didn't do computer science at A level, so that leaves me doing a computing course. And then a computing course, foundation degree that takes 2 years, which is equivalent to level 5 in computing, networking and software development, and I specialised in software development, which is great. And then, on top of all that, I have done, I'm doing a BSc in computer technologies, and then I have a bachelor's degree, having had a difficult life. I am slightly older than my peers with equivalent credentials, but not everyone has been so lucky as getting an ICT job and then going on to a computing course. And yeah, it's just a ongoing achievement is being a student. So I value being a student, and then you get qualifications, and it's achieving greatness. And I have been mentally well. Check my watch. I've been mentally well for the best part. I wanted to say the best part, but I don't really know what that means. I've been mentally well for over 3 years. On a sort of, I'm living at home without any serious intervention sort of level. Yeah, so I take my medication and I stay professional and I do my absolute best to just do well. And things I've been struggling with, and interestingly, I watched a podcast from 2 years ago, and I found that I found on a podcast from 2 years ago that I did, that I was struggling with anxiety. And it did sound worse than what I currently struggle with. Possibly not. When I have anxiety, can't do anything. I lie in bed and listen to meditation music, because that's what I like to do. Well, let's list things I like about college. So sense of purpose, being a student, identity, all that goes into a nice, happy, I've got a life sort of world. And then the next thing about life, about student life, is banter, like banter. I go into school thinking there's going to be great banter, and there often is. And I go into school, I'm calling it school now, but it's actually college, actually university, but school. Go to school, banter. Look forward to the banter. 9 to 5, full-time banter. And I say that because I've got some classmates that I talk to, and we participate in banter. So that's exciting. And then I like having teachers, but something I'm looking forward to is the fact that I have got I've got a schedule. My schedule is 2 days a week. Thursday, Friday. And then Friday, full day, getting at 9, go home at 4:30. Brilliant. Thursday, easier day, which is good, because that fits in well my anxiety, because I struggle on the first day. Later start, 11:15, 2 hours extra sleep in the morning, and then go home at 4:30. Same deal. And then that leaves me with the ability to progress on to the next days after college with a rest, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 5 days off. So with that time, I'm going to be making the most out of opportunities that I have, and I'll be doing work. I'll be doing plenty of work. Plenty. My plan is to get the best grade possible, and to do that, I'm going to do lots of hours of work. That's my plan, and I'm looking forward to it. And currently, I find in current circumstances is that the plan has not happened, and I've done less work. But it hasn't impacted my grades so far. Because I was doing assignments, I would do the assignment and think, that's good enough, I'll send it off. When really I should be spending another 10 hours going through every single part of the assignment, adding to it, going through the specification, finding where I can improve, getting other people to look at it and really try and perfect a piece of work, get the coursework working at just the right level, and that would be great. So I can work harder, and I'm going to work harder, and as a result I get a better grade, really. First year, 75%. Second year, 67%. Overall, 71% at foundation level. And then that leaves me with first. No, distinction, they call it. I got a distinction at foundation degree. That sounds good. That's what I've got. And the best thing that could happen is a first class degree at bachelor's degree level 6. So that's the next step. That's what I've got on the horizons. But I worked out with my mum that if I pass the third year, whatever happens, my grade would be brought up to a 2-2. So the lowest I can get while passing is a 2-2, which is not that bad. I can get by saying I've got a 2-2, and that'll be alright. But there's many things in the world. So I watch podcasts, go to college, reading a book about artificial intelligence and synthetic biology, they call it, creating biology, but it's mainly just artificial intelligence, and it's called The Coming Wave. It's a really good book. Gets really technical, right into the weeds of artificial intelligence and how best to resolve that. So hopefully, with me today, we have learnt that I like being a student. I like podcasts. I like all these things, and these are great. And I'm going to continue liking these things, whatever happens. And I'm really glad I got my camera, because it's great. Get the best quality video, best quality sound. Got my microphone on, and I'm going to be able to do podcasts with Bitcoin show with my brother, talking about Bitcoin. I don't know if I'll do that, but I got the Peter Repeater. This is the Peter Repeater episode 52. Nice to have you with us. Available on YouTube. I did make all the other ones available on other technologies such as Spotify or platforms or whatever you call them. But that's alright. So, what have we learnt today? We have learnt that I am going on an adventure. I am going to be the best at what I do at all times. And I'm going to learn from the best and just start talking about my life quite a lot. I should probably do this podcast as much as I want. Love watching podcasts, so I should do my own podcast and see what comes of it. Very exciting stuff, and hopefully I'll have you all with me in this journey into the realms of possibility that can be garnered from doing podcasts regularly. And I'm going to document my life, and it's going to be great. I'm going to have kids, talk about my kids. I'm going to have grandchildren, talk about my grandchildren. I'm going to have jobs, talk about my job. I'm going to have travelling, talk about my travel. I'm going to do all these amazing things at the frontier of technology. So, I am a mathematical genius, I would say. I can't do it anymore, but I used to be. I got the top grade. I say that unironically because I am actually quite good at maths. But it's just something to say on the podcast. It's a throwaway comment. So, I can do this podcast with my brother, have him on, try not to interrupt him, try and listen to him and get the best out of everything. So this is the Peter Repeater. I've done so many live games with Peter and Mario Karts and Rocket League and everything, and it's just a continuation of success. So in the closing realm, I feel like artificial intelligence. I like ChatGPT, and I ask it questions about my life and it answers them very well, and I use it to have inspiration. Well, I tried to get it to write an essay for me, and then it wasn't that good. This is not an essay that I've handed in, this is a preparation for an essay. And I got it to write an essay and it wasn't that good, so I've promised myself that I'm going to write everything myself, but I might be inspired by artificial intelligence. That's the difference, the key difference. So it's just Bitcoin to the moon and making the most out of every interaction that I have, both on an artificial level, intelligence-wise, and on a practical level, physically, into my computing course. That's what I'm going to say, that's what I'm going to leave you with, is the best situation that can be, is a situation of being happy and making the most out of every single accomplishment that I see myself in. And yeah, so I started this podcast on this channel looking at coronavirus and talking about the daily figures and the news, and that was slightly depressing. So I'm going to finish this channel. I don't know when, but I can just do lots of podcasts and make the most out of every opportunity. Lots of podcasts and everything in between. So thank you very much for being part of this. Yeah, I feel a sense of failure sometimes, even when it's not grounded in anything real. For example, I find sometimes throughout the year I lose my mojo, and I feel like I'm behind, and I'm not bringing my best energy to the work that I'm doing. And this is a bit of a situation that can manifest itself. It's not grounded in anything real, because at the end of the year I got the best grade. And I feel like I'm failing even though I haven't started. And I've got a foundation degree, and I should be really happy about that. Should fill me with joy and everything in between. So maybe get a job in artificial intelligence, maybe focus on the groundbreaking research and the coming wave, as the book that I'm reading, The Coming Wave, by the co-founder of DeepMind and Inflection AI, the people behind AlphaGo that beat the world's best Go player, with the pivotal, groundbreaking Move 37 that shocked the sporting realm. So I like my sister a lot. I like my brother a lot. I like my other brother a similar amount, a lot. Yeah, but you just got to see the best in people. Just accept them for who they are and appreciate what they bring to your life. Because some people can get on your nerves, but actually they have good points as well. I'm not speaking of my family here. Not really. But you could see the best in people, and I think you should. I think seeing the best in people is the best thing. So, in closing, what I've done recently is got ChatGPT to write a book, and it's called A Believable Universe, written by Artificial Intelligence by Peter Newey. And my first book is An Unbelievable God by Peter Newey. And those two books have done very well in life. And they continue to do well. Am I ever gonna go viral? Possibly. Do I want to go viral? Yes, I do. How? I don't know. I must have posted 500 videos on various channels, some of them not showing. And here I am, by myself. But that's okay. So, just making the most out of every opportunity to see if my audio works. Okay, so the audio's gone. It's got an echo to it. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know what's happened to that. Right. No, I don't understand that. Unless, no. Unless the, no, I don't know. See what the audio sounds like. That's alright. It'll work in the future. So I've got two books. One that I wrote, An Unbelievable God, and one written by Artificial Intelligence, A Believable Universe. And it's a good book. No, it's not a good book. Could be silly. It's a good book, yeah. So hopefully I can get going in this world, make the most out of life, and help everyone that I come across. I've had the audio not working before. This is just one of those times. Yeah. The audio works, it just doesn't, it's not playing very well. Just wonder if the camera's recording audio or something. Let's see what it sounds earlier. Okay, yeah. It's all good. It's all good, good, good. Good. All very good. Right, thank you everyone for watching. This has been another episode of The Peter Repeater. Nice to have you with us, nice to have everyone watching today. It's been another show. Speak to you soon. Peace. Bye for now. Thank you and goodbye.